please get ready, cause we're diving headfirst into this glorious, chaotic mess of destiny roasting leftists like Hassan Piker for handing Trump the keys to the White House on a silver platter.
Far left people, they're just not worth engaging with. Time is better spent on building our own base. Yeah, true. Another issue, I don't remember who I read this term from. I think I probably discovered this on stream. There's a name for this. It's called like privilege politics. But it's basically people who just don't care about progress because they're insulated from all the bad outcomes of a Republican society. And I find that a lot of people are like that. People got mad at me because somebody was like, what are the Democrats doing now? And I retweeted and I brought up the pre-existing conditions thing. And they were like, you should have brought up something more recent. I mean, like, I could have, but that's just such an unbelievably huge jump forward in my lifetime for America having any type of like social like mandates, I guess, related to insurance. It was a really big deal in the U.S., in U.S. healthcare history, although I guess we just don't think about it as much now. But I think that somebody posted like this perfect cycle that we get trapped in all the time. And it's like Dems, I'm not going to remember what it was. It was like, Dems can't do anything. And then it's like, people don't vote for Dems. People don't vote. And then it's like, Dems lose elections. And then it's like, Dems have no power. I butchered this. I don't give a fuck. And then we're just like locked into this cycle indefinitely. And it's like, why aren't the Dems doing anything? It's like, our margins are so thin. What the f can we do? And it's so frustrating. This dynamic has to change. Republicans are so good at this. Republicans will literally lose an election, change nothing, run the same guy, and fight to vote all over the country. Meanwhile, Democrats will win elections, and then all your far-left media is like, why does it even matter? Who cares? I'm not going to waste my time voting. I'm not going to waste my time voting because they're all owned by billionaires. And the right will be like, it's a waste of time to vote because it's literally all the elections are stolen anyway, but I'm still going to go vote. I don't care how many illegal immigrants are there. I'm going to vote. I'll stand in line behind 100 illegal immigrants just to get my vote in at the ballot box. And like people on the far left are like, why would I even bother? Gaza is going to end up the same either way. It's like, bro, can you not? What the dude, Republicans are just crazy. In a good way here though, because they vote. God, they vote. They can't be discouraged from voting. Republicans have like 15 conspiracies at every single point in time working against them. Illegals are voting. They're trying to gerrymander us. They're breeding out all the white people. They're busting people up from other countries. They're faking the voter rolls. They're purging our voter rolls. Biden is doing something in Antifa, and they're blocking the windows and like all these things. And they're like, that's why we got to vote even harder. They're like, we have to vote so hard. And then meanwhile, Democrats are like, well, Kamala is not actually copy pasting my ideal, like www.howsocialists-would-govern-the-United-States.com. And so, yeah, that I'm not voting, but I'm not in a swing state. So it doesn't matter. It's like, bro, the oh, one of Trump's big advisors to direct poll too. Oh, I saw this. I did read these guys' tweets. These were the funniest tweets ever.
So here's the scene. Destiny, that debate lord, that blue-haired maestro of online smackdowns, is out here swinging haymakers at the progressive left. Hassan Piker, the Twitch-streaming socialist heartthrob, and his ilk. The accusation, they helped Trump win. How, you ask? By being so insufferably smug, so detached, so wrapped up in their privileged politics that they forgot to, I don't know, vote. Or at least convince anyone else to. Meanwhile, the Republicans are out here mobilizing like it's the goddamn Crusades, and the left's just sitting there sipping oat milk lattes, whining about how the system's rigged. It's a comedy of errors, folks, and I'm here to break it down with all the manic energy of a man who's just discovered Nietzsche and edibles in the same night. Let's start with Destiny's big beef. The left ain't worth engaging with. He's like, our people, screw M, let's build our own base. And you know what? I get it. I'm a liberal, bleeding heart, pro-choice, pro-weed, the whole 9 yards, but sweet, merciful marks, some of these leftists make me want to claw my eyes out with a rusty spoon. They're so busy navel-gazing, so caught up in their purity spirals, that they've forgotten the game. S about winning, not just preaching to the choir. Destiny, S over here playing 4D chess and Hassan's like, but what if the board's capitalist, bro? Dude, it's always been capitalist. Grab a pawn and move. Now Destiny drops this term, privilege politics. He's fuzzy on where he got it, probably plucked it from the ether of some late-night stream, but it's gold, pure, unadulterated gold. He's talking about these folks, your coastal elites, your trust fund radicals, who don't give a rat's ass about progress because they're insulated from the fallout. Trump wins, no biggie. They've got daddy's money, private health care, and a penthouse in Brooklyn. Meanwhile, the rest of us are out here sweating bullets over pre-existing conditions and whether the rent's gonna clear. Destiny's pissed, and I'm right there with him, slurring my words and waving a half-empty bottle of Jack. These people don't feel the stakes, man. They're up in their ivory towers, tweeting about systemic this and intersectional that, while the MAGA horde storms the gates. Speaking of pre-existing conditions, Destiny brings up this moment where he tweeted about it. Somebody asked, "What are the Dems doing now?" And he's like, hello, Affordable Care Act, that little thing called not letting insurance companies screw you for having asthma." And people got mad. They're like, "That's old news, bro, give us something fresh." Are you kidding me? I'm over here, 3 sheets to the wind, screaming at my laptop. That was a big deal. In my lifetime, America went from "you're sick, tough luck, pal," to at least pretending to care. It's not perfect, it's not socialism, but it's something. And these clowns are like, nah, too retro. Retro, it's not a vinyl record, it's people's lives. But that's privilege politics for you. Nothing's ever good enough when you're not the one bleeding. Then Destiny lays out this cycle, this vicious, soul-crushing loop we're stuck in. Dems can't do anything because their margins are razor-thin, thanks gerrymandering and voter apathy. So people don't vote because why bother? Then Dems lose and they've got no power, so they can't do anything. Rinse, repeat, ad infinitum. It's like Sisyphus pushing that boulder, except the boulder's covered in Bernie would have won stickers and the hill's a swing state. I'm laughing, I'm crying, I'm spilling my drink. This is the tragedy of the left in a nutshell. We're so busy whining about how powerless we are that we forget to, I don't know, grab some power. Meanwhile, the Republicans, oh, they're a different breed. Destiny, S in awe, and honestly, so am I. These lunatics lose an election. Think 2020, and what do? Change nothing. Run the same guy. Trump's out there, orange as ever, ranting about windmills and caravans, and they're like, yep, that's our dude. And they vote. Rain, shine, conspiracy theories about Antifa stuffing ballots. They're in line, clutching their "don't tread on me" flags, ready to die on that hill. Destiny's like, goddamn, they're crazy, but it works. And it does. They've got discipline, they've got grit, they've got an unholy cocktail of paranoia and patriotism that gets asses in polling booths. I'm over here, stumbling around my living room, yelling, why can't we have that? Where's our crazy? Where's our fire? Instead, what do we get? The far left's like, voting? Kamala's not my dream girl from socialistfantasy.com, so I'm out. Destiny's losing his mind over this, and I'm right there with him, giggling like a maniac. They're in non-swing states, sure, but the vibe matters. You've got Republicans standing behind 100 illegals. Their words, not mine, just to cast a ballot, and the left's like, hey, both sides are the same. Both sides. One side's trying to ban books, and the other's at least pretending to care about climate change. I'm not saying the Dems are saints. Lord knows they're a mess. But can we not see the forest for the trees here? I'm high as a kite, and even I get it. Destiny's ranting about how Republicans lean into every conspiracy under the sun. Eagles voting, gerrymandering, white people being bred out, buses of immigrants, fake voter rolls, Biden and Antifa boarding up windows, and it only makes them vote harder. They're like, the system's rigged, so we're gonna rig it back. It's insane, it's beautiful, it's like watching a drunk uncle at Thanksgiving turn a wild story about Bigfoot into a call to arms. And the left? We're over here debating whether Kamala's prosecutor past makes her problematic. Problematic. The world's on fire, and you're worried about her resume from 2005. Now let's flip the script a bit, because I'm a liberal, sure, but I'm not blind. Hassan and the far left, they've got a point buried under all that sanctimony. The system is broken. The Dems are beholden to billionaires. You think I'm happy about that? I'm over here, sloshing my drink, muttering about Citizens United and corporate lobbying like it's my own personal dragon to slay. Hassan's not wrong to call it out. He's got that Twitch charisma, that righteous fury that makes you want to smash the patriarchy with a folding chair. But here's the rub, bucko, calling it out doesn't win elections. It feels good, it gets you subs, it pads your Patreon, but it doesn't move the needle. Destiny's like, bro, you're preaching to the converted, meanwhile, Trump's out there converting the unconverted. And that's the crux of it. The left's got this moral superiority complex, like we're too pure for this dirty game. Destiny's roasting them because they're sitting on the sidelines, critiquing the playbook, while the right's out there running trick plays and scoring touchdowns. I'm laughing so hard I'm choking on my own spit because it's true. Republicans don't care if the ref's crooked. They'll bribe him, punch him, or just keep playing till the whistle blows. Dems, we're like, excuse me, sir, I'd like to file a formal complaint about the integrity of this match. Good luck with that when the other team's already popping champagne. But let's give Hassan his due for a sec. He's not just some grifter, well, not entirely. He's tapping into real frustration. People are tired of the Dems promising the moon and delivering a stale bagel. Pre-existing conditions? Great. What about wages? What about housing? What about the fact that I can't afford a doctor even with insurance? Destiny's like, yeah, but you've got to work with what you've got. And Hassan's like, why settle for crumbs? It's a fair fight in a way. One's pragmatic, one's idealistic. I'm over here, swaying like a palm tree in a hurricane, cheering for both of them to just hug it out and start a podcast. So where does this leave us? Destiny's roasting the left for helping Trump win, and he's not wrong. The apathy, the privilege, the I'm not voting because it's all the same nonsense. It's a self-inflicted wound. Republicans don't sleep on elections. They treat everyone like it's the Alamo. The left, we're too busy arguing over who gets to hold the megaphone. I'm a liberal, sure, but I'm not above admitting we've got some clowns in our circuit. Destiny's out here trying to build something, a base, a movement, whatever, and the far left's like, nah, I'd rather dunk on you on Twitter. It's maddening, it's hilarious, it's the story of our times. And yet I can't fully ditch the left's dreamers. They see a world that could be, should be better. Destiny's right to call out their laziness, but they're right to call out the Dems' complacency. Maybe we need both, the fighters and the visionaries. Maybe I'm just drunk and high and seeing unity where there's only chaos. Either way, Trump's laughing all the way to the bank and we're stuck here yelling at each other. Classic.